through this field. It came down like this, gravel road. The fish were on top of the gravel, okay, the high spot, and he was using a crankbait. So we get in there, I pick up a spinnerbait, fish some brush, and literally like a gate you walk through. Catch one on a spinnerbait, he comments, oh, I haven't really been catching him on a spinnerbait. He'd love to fish a spinnerbait. I've been catching him on crankbait. So I get a good one, I put it in the boat, then the spinnerbait dies off, so we're both fishing crankbaits. And I went to put a limit in the boat really quick, a good limit. And so I, again, out of respect for him, I just basically sat down, I cut that crankbait off because he had not a bite. So it's getting on in the day, like 1, 2 o'clock, and we're gonna have to start getting out of there. He does not have a fish, so I gave him the crankbait. He knew, he goes, well, he'd tell he really didn't have a lot of confidence in the crankbait, but I had caught a limit on it. Hooks were sharp. I remember him checking them, tied it on, made a couple casts, wasn't feeling it, went back to his crankbait. He turned to me and said, whatever the good Lord has in store for me today, that's what it is, okay? If he wants me to, catch 1 fish, 2 fish, a limit, whatever it is, or if it's no fish for whatever reason, that's the plan, that's just the way it is. And he goes, I just believe in him, that whatever is meant to be, meant to be. Literally, seconds after that comes out of his mouth, boom, 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 catches a limit. Almost back-to-back casts, all right? Found the school, obviously, put 5 fish in the boat, turns to me, puts the 5th fish in the boat, turns to me and said, if that doesn't prove to you the power in the Lord, nothing will. It was just like, oh, so unbelievable. Put him in the boat, get out of there, go. He had a decent tournament, we both did pretty good. So that's my Sam Rayburn story. I had a couple other ones too, but this is already wicked long, so I'm just gonna keep it rolling. Bussy Break Lake, Reservoir, Louisiana, never fished it. Toledo Bend, yes, I fished it, not a lot, a little bit. Went out there with my buddy Sean, my new buddy Sean, fishing the Central Opens, or Invitationals rather. Caney Creek, Reservoir, Louisiana, nope. I'm not gonna read these, I'm just gonna read the ones, you can look this up online, or if you get the magazine. In Iowa, never fished in Iowa. Lake J.B. Thomas, no. Grand Lake of the Cherokees, yes, just fished the Nationals there last fall. Awesome lake. Didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Was on the right deal, just didn't come across the right fish. Love to go back. Lake Claiborne, Louisiana, no. Lake of the Ozarks, yes, I have fished Lake of the Ozarks. Both with bass in the Invitational or Open, probably an Invitational, and with FLW. Awesome lake. Up a Mississippi River, fished several pools on the Mississippi River. La Crosse, Wisconsin, yep. Old Fort Madison, I fished. Lake Oha, South Dakota, never fished in the Dakotas. Bull Shows, I got a buddy who fishes there a lot. But I've not fished it. It's similar to, Grand Lake in that area. Lake of the Pines, Texas, yes, I have. It's close to Skeeter, so we would go there and fish. We put boats in and test them and fish around. Cool little lake. It's a little lake, 18,700 acres. Table Rock Lake, Missouri, yes, one of the first lakes I fished on the Central Opens. Invitationals, possibly back then. Fished that, and then there's a bunch of fish places here. Louisiana, Arkansas, you got Millwood Lake, Newham Lake, Conroe, Hamilton, no. 10 Killer, I have not. Black Bayou Lake, Louisiana, have not fished that. We get to Gunnersville. Oh yeah. Had an Elite Series event, Elite Series tournament, Lake Gunnersville. Might have been it was 09. My second check, my second cut that I made on Gunnersville. Got on him pretty good. Was catching 20, 21, 22 pounds a day there. And even with, I think I was for 2 days, I caught 21 and change, 21 and a half, something like that, and I made the cut, top 50 cut, and I was in like 47th place. I remember coming to the scales the first day, they're like 21 and a half pounds, thinking like, yeah, and I caught them, on Gunnersville. Everybody had over 20 pounds. I remember seeing Chip there, and I'm like, man, you guys couldn't get, you're just joking, man. I catch over 20 pounds, Elite Series tournament, you guys can't give me a break. You're also going to catch over 20 pounds, all of you. It was like 50 bags over 20 pounds. It was crazy. Just such an awesome lake, awesome fishery. Went back in 2010, had a little misfortune mechanically, and never made it to my fish. And what a testament to how good this lake is. Never made it to my fish, and there was no backup boat, and there wasn't an option there to borrow a boat. Went through all that, and literally just pulled over, to the bank, and caught 15 pounds. Broke down, but that's 15 pounds on Gunnersville in post spawn. When they're out on the bars and river ledges and stuff like that, feeding on shad, yeah, it's not going to cut it. So, but anyway, awesome lake. Fished it many times. Lake Murray, yep, South Carolina, fished that. Pickwick, absolutely, yep, good experiences on Pickwick. Scary weather when I was there. Every time I was there, and just tornadoes. Another one here, Lake Lanier, Georgia, absolutely, yep. Spotted bass, fish Lanier for FLW, with the FLW and FLW series. So moving on, I'm going to try to just get this all done in one take, if you will. Toho, Florida, absolutely, yep. Just awesome lake. Connected to Kissimmee. Kentucky Lake, yes, can fish Kentucky Lake prior to the carp. And I did well there. I think it was a Central Open in the fall when the ledge deal wasn't the deal. And caught them in grass beds and did well. And it might have been I think that was the year that I qualified. That might have been 08, qualified for the Elite Series. Clarks Hill Reservoir, Georgia, South Carolina, yep, fished that. Again, at Blueback Heron Lake. Wheeler Lake, Alabama, absolutely love Wheeler Lake. I fished a FLW championship there, or Everstar championship there. Fished open there. Elite Series, my very first Elite Series cut I made was on Wheeler. And it just fits me so well. I like it, I really, really do. Wheeler, Wilson, Pickwick, that whole, chain. Hartwell was the very first professional tournament, the location of the very first professional tournament in the fall of '96. Me, Frankie Guina, Ed Cowan, Chris Mann, drove down, the four of us, and fished Hartwell. I was going to say, I just had another thought, but yeah, first time really down south for fishing, other than like taking a trip to Florida or something, not fishing related, but Hartwell in the fall, and it was a tough bite. Well, what I took away from that was the area I found. I could not figure it out, but I found that area. I actually saw some fish shallow, saw they were feeding on shad shallow, and saw birds working in there, and I knew that this was a good thing, okay? But again, still relatively green. First professional tournament it was an invitational for bass in '96, as I said, the fall of '96. And throwing the same bait. Larry Lazone maybe won it. Rick Lilligard helped them win the last day they were paired together. And at times these bass would herd the shad up onto a little clay points and some structure and feed on them. And he caught them on a rattle trap in that area. So what I took away from that was, after the fact, was I found the winning area, the winning spots, really. Had that same bait, saw the fish, the birds, and I just never, I was close, okay? And that's what gave me confidence. It's like, wow, this is a massive lake. I can, I took, away that experience, and it helped me a lot. Okeechobee, yeah, I can't tell you. I mean, there's a lot of good stories about Okeechobee. First one, being launching in Honey Pond Canal, Honey Pond Canal. Yeah, excuse me. And I get out to the end of the canal, and again, this was I had GPS, but not like today. No mapping or anything like that. And I get out to the end of that canal, and it opens up. I remember I turned the boat off. I'm sitting there, I stood up, and I looked around. I mean, here's like 3/4 of the lake goes over the curve of the earth. Like, whew. All right, we're not in Massachusetts anymore, boys. Grass everywhere. And it's basically put the trolling motor down and fish the different types